Let us do some reflection here. So far, based on what we have said, we are hopeful that you can see that spiritual growth and development has nothing to do directly with your material possessions. It doesn't come in at all. How does the threefold spirit mature? Let us look at the details. When the threefold spirit had evolved the threefold body and gained control of it through the focus of the mind, it uses the mind to gain control of those bodies. The spirit commenced to evolve the threefold soul by working from within. The soul is derived from the way the spirit uses the four material bodies. That is how it is for every human being. It has nothing to do with your social status, wealth, faith or belief, race or color, what you like or what you don't like. It has nothing to do at all with that. This extraction is a natural process, just as we breathe in oxygen. How much or how little soul a person has depends upon the amount of work the threefold spirit has done in the threefold body. The way we conduct ourselves determines our level of spiritual development. It is not the wonders you do, it is not the miracles you perform, or any other magical feat that determine your level of spirituality. It is the way you conduct yourself. Are you trustworthy? Are you faithful? Are you humble? Those are some of the qualities, not the display of miracles. There are specific actions that impart each of the three spiritual aspects in the material bodies. And let us look at the examples. First, that of the divine spirit. And its pabulum, its food, so to say, is the conscious soul. Let's see how that happens. The counterpart of the divine spirit in the material world is the dense body. So, the dense body that you and I have, this body that we see, just like other human beings, is a reflection of the divine spirit. The reflection of the divine spirit is the dense body in the material world. Each one of us should use the dense body wisely to extract the conscious soul. The conscious soul then goes to feeding and increasing the consciousness of the divine spirit. And let us look at the drawing. To the top left-hand side, in the circle, we have the divine spirit. And from it, we have the arrow to the dense body, implying that the divine spirit generated the dense body. And the way the dense body is used, the conscious soul is developed. And the conscious soul goes to enhancing, to strengthening the consciousness of the divine spirit. How do you build the conscious soul? It's all about the external impacts and your reaction. What you observe. Do you have a high level of observation? You have the right action? Of course, we may make mistakes, but we correct them and keep moving forward. How you manage your experience, all these things bring into the knowledge or the consciousness of the divine spirit. How about the light spirit? That's the second one we are talking about. And the light spirit connects with the intellectual soul. The counterpart of the light spirit in the material world is the vital body. So, the vital body that every human being has is a reflection of the life spirit. Each one of us should use the vital body wisely to extract the intellectual soul. The intellectual soul then goes to feeding and increasing the life spirit. And we have the drawing here. The growth of the life spirit, the same I explained in terms of the chart. To the left-hand side, to the top, we have the life spirit in the circle. And it generates the vital body. And by the use of the vital body, the intellectual soul is extracted. The intellectual soul then feeds the life spirit, and that is depicted by that arrow that links the intellectual soul to the life spirit. How do you build the intellectual soul? Exercising memory of actions, improving upon your memory is key. The lessons you have learned and how wise you have applied those lessons. The fundamental principle is repetition. Repetition of good and noble things. They enhance the life spirit, or they help in building the intellectual soul. So, repeated experiences work to create memory. So, if there is a good thing that we are doing, let us say it's prayer. Let's keep praying, let's keep praying, let's keep praying. Repetition counts in enhancing the life spirit. The third one we're going to look at is the human spirit and the emotional soul. They work together. The counterpart of the human spirit in the material world is the desire body. So, the desire body that every human being has is a reflection of the human spirit. Each one of us should use the desire body wisely to extract the emotional soul. Then the emotional soul goes to feeding and increasing the human spirit. And once again, we show you the chart. The growth of the human spirit. To the top, we have the human spirit. And linked by the desire body, that is shown by the arrow, from the human spirit to the desire body. And the way we put our desire body to use, the emotional soul is extracted. And it goes to enhancing the human spirit, the consciousness of the human spirit. How do you build the emotional soul? How you direct or manage your feelings and emotions is critical to building the emotional soul. Will the wrong emotions drive you crazy and you do the wrong thing, or you will control those? Will you act or react without reasoning? You need to control your emotions. So, to be safer, focus on the higher desires of love, altruism, helpfulness, and what have you. How about the mind? The mind, as said before, is the focusing point for the spirit or the ego in the material world. Human beings have the mind. Animals don't have mind. Only human beings have mind. And its counterpart, the counterpart of the mind in the material world is the brain. The mind builds the brain that we have. Its counterpart is the brain. And it uses the brain to be aware of what is happening. But the mind, we can't see with our physical eyes. No. Without the mind, it will be challenging for the spirit to assimilate the footage of its activities on earth. All the things that the spirit is doing on earth, without the mind, which is the way, it will be very, very challenging for the spirit to extract and assimilate what it has done, its experience in the material world. It is therefore important that we exercise and renew our mind. We need to renew our mind by pure, positive, and lofty thoughts. We can sharpen the mind through concentration, mathematics, reading, philosophy, and thinking in the abstract. And to sum it up, we have this chart. The chart is a summary of all that we have said, showing the tenfold constitution of you and I. This is how we are constituted. This is how we are made of, every human being. This is our physical and spiritual constitution. From the divine spirit to the life spirit to the human spirit, forming the threefold spirit. And then the material area, we have the dense body, the vital body, and the desired body. Both are linked by the mind. And how we use the threefold body, we extract the threefold soul, comprising the conscious soul, the intellectual soul, and the emotional soul. And they go to feed in the threefold spirit. Let us do some reflection here. So far, based on what we have said, we are hopeful that you can see that spiritual growth and development has nothing to do directly with your material possessions. It doesn't come in at all. Lands and buildings, cars, businesses, money, luxury and comfortable life, popularity and fame, power, command and control, poverty, suffering, pain and sorrow. Those things by themselves do not add anything to your spiritual growth. It's only the soul that can add to it. The ones that we have talked about. The conscious soul, the intellectual soul, and the emotional soul. They are the ones that promote your spiritual development. It is how you use the material things. We are not against material things on our platform. No, you need to have them. But it is how you use those material things that matters. The more wealth you have, the more the opportunity to help others. Where help is based on a well thought out philanthropy to uplift humanity, it may be a very great blessing and a means of growth for its possessor. But wealth should not be used to make people dependent on others. Rather, it should be used to build and make them to become self-reliant. If wealth is used for selfish purposes, especially oppression, it becomes more or less an unmitigated curse. Clearly, the person has missed the opportunity to serve others and will have to pay for that in the future. The smile you give somebody, even the smile you give somebody, the sound advice that you give somebody, the gratitude that you express, they all count. But service is not limited to wealth or monetary assistance. Service goes beyond that. How do you speed up soul growth? Because we have mentioned that the threefold soul goes to strengthening the consciousness of the threefold spirit. How do you speed that up?
Filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it can build and build until you finally see. Whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all this.